JF Stretford, Paddock. This is Paddock Live. Joining me, as always, is Mr. Joe Smith. And I, for one, am very happy about it.
I, for two... No, it was 4-1, wasn't it? I, for one, am happy as well. So...
Yeah, and if you think, right, that we're some petty, small-minded, little fan channel that's going to laugh at Liverpool losing 4-1 away at Napoli when we're not even in the Champions League ourselves, then you're dead fucking right.
You're absolutely right.
Of course we are, because it's amazing.
You were loving that, Joe.
Yeah.
You were loving watching Liverpool lose.
I love our rivals losing almost as much as I love United winning.
Yeah, Liverpool are shit this season.
What's going on? They are.
Why are they so bad?
No. They weren't shit when it came to Old Trafford. We were mint.
No. Yeah.
Right, they were good then. But I watched them. I watched them against Everton, and I know Jordan Pickford played well, but Everton were terrible.
Yeah.
And it was a draw. Newcastle were missing about 5 players, and Liverpool scored in the 112th minute.
Yeah.
I mean, they haven't been good this season. They drew away at Newcastle. No, away at Newcastle. Sorry. They drew. Was it Palace?
They drew at Palace. They drew with Fulham. They lost to United. They drew with Everton. They've lost tonight. Like, they've beat Newcastle. That's about it. They've been awful.
They've been awful, and maybe, they need to get them inhalers out or something, because it's all going peaks.
They need more inhalers. Do you know they have the blue inhalers?
Yeah.
They need the brown inhalers now. Do you know the real big ones? Those ones with the steroids in? Not that I can say that. Actually, no, I haven't said they've had it. That's what they need.
That's what they need.
My mate used to have one.
Essentially.
He had a blue one, and then had a brown one.
I had both, the Ventolin and the Beckertide.
Whatever.
Right.
And he had...
Don't ever wave your hands at me like that again.
But he also had, Jay, you're not going to believe this.
Go on.
A dark red one.
Shut up.
This was the one that you use if shit has hit the fan.
Is that like
This is like the Titanic has hit the iceberg. What we're doing, get the red inhaler out.
Is that like the...
Flowing through the air like...
Is that like the flake of the...
Yeah. That's the purest of the pure. That's like, it's not even been cut with paracetamol.
Yeah, that's like, don't worry, this is the
shit. This is what they give you in hospitals.
He's got that red stuff,
Yeah. So that's what Liverpool need.
Yeah, they
Dark
need
red
that.
Inhaler.
Not that we're accusing them of taking any of it, of course. Anyway, enough about the Scouts. We're going to be talking about Marcus Rashford's resurgence. We're going to be talking about Diogo Dalot, his quotes. He's been on the presser today with Eric Ten Hag, and obviously it's great to see Dalot playing so well. He's a good lad, Dalot. He's a friend of the channel. I did worry at the beginning of the season, but he's massively turned it around, and I think he's had 3, if not 4, of his best ever games for us in his last 4 appearances. Yep. We'll also be looking at rumours of Martial being wanted by Galatasaray. Yeah. Thomas Tuchel got sacked as well. There's a couple of interesting points that have come out about this, about how last season he could have gone to United. So we'll get into all that as well. And we'll have a little bit of last fan standing, Adam McCullough with BetVictor. But the most important thing is you lot. Get involved in the chat and the comments. Let us know what you think about everything and anything. And, feel free if you want to have a good laugh at our rivals' misfortune.
What is going on with Liverpool, Jay? And how much do you love it?
I love it as much as...
Go on, what you got?
Matthias Anderson, who's been a member of the academy for 22 months, loves it. He's put Klopp to Brighton, Potter to Chelsea, and Pochettino to Liverpool, laughing emojis. They do this, though, boom and bust thing, don't they?
Yeah.
Where they had spelled it, me and you were talking off camera before, where they had this 18 months where they were almost unbeatable. Not quite, but they got a ridiculous amount of points in the league during that period. They won the Champions League, apparently. Then went on and won the league the next season. Didn't do it in the same season, obviously.
No, we all know that.
One team's won the Premier League and the Champions League in the same season, and we'd won it twice. And then all of a sudden, the next season, they fall off a cliff. Yeah. Lose 6 on the spin at home, all sorts of...
Only finished top 4 by
they had
a header from their goalkeeper.
Yeah, last sort of month, they get their act together and get into the top 4. This season, we're seeing a little bit of that. Again, you just wonder whether they're running out of steam. They lost Sadio Mane.
Yeah.
Thiago got injured again. Van Dijk, you were making a point of maybe, are we getting towards, not the end of his career, I'm not going to be melodramatic, but is he fading a little bit? Yeah. Is he lost a little bit of what he had? Do you know what I mean? Has Trent Alexander-Arnold stagnated? What's going on with him? He keeps getting subbed. There seems to have a lot of players that are not performing at the levels they were, and these aren't old players. Some of these are in the 20s, so it is a bit strange. But
I think the thing with Van Dijk is that's what I was saying to you before. He feels like one of those players who, because I know obviously he relies on his physical attributes a little bit, but he almost reminds me of, and he's not as good as him, as almost a Rio Ferdinand type player, where at their best, they're this almost like imperious, almost looking down on the pitch type player.
Yeah.
Do you know, it's like, I'm reading everything before it's happened. I'm just sneaking in front of you, winning the ball back. I'll win it in the air. If you try and knock it past me, I'm faster than you, so I'll beat you. And then we saw Ferdinand at QPR, and I don't think Van Dijk is quite at that stage yet.
Yeah.
But it's sort of the wheels fall off quite quickly because you've gone from being so all-powerful to all of a sudden it's not quite working, it's not quite fitting together. You can't catch up the man anymore because you've done your knee, you're getting older a little bit. He looks now like he's still trying to play that role of like, I can take as long as I want to do anything. But actually, he's getting closed down quicker. And actually, he's not tracking the man behind him anymore. No. It's almost like he's going through the motions of being a top defender, but not actually playing like one.
Did you see James Milner giving it to him?
Yeah, against United.
Yeah, like hammering.
Because he's like, Sancho turns back and Milner slides across him. But Milner made that slide tackle to give Van Dijk and the defenders time to push Sancho. And instead, Van Dijk just stands there like that. Like he's going down the ski
Liam
jump.
Gallagher
Liam Gallagher or Eddie the Eagle.
Yeah.
Just going down like that, like he's about to go off the end. And it's just like, he still thinks he's this defender.
Do you know what?
That's incredible,
You mentioned Rio
it.
Ferdinand. I always think Rio Ferdinand's 2012-13 season when we last won the title, he's underrated. I know he only played about 28 league games, he missed a few through injury. But I felt he adapted his game to be perfect for that season. He knew he'd lost a little bit of pace.
Yeah.
He was so switched on for those games, for all those games. He wasn't anything where you go, okay, I'm going to have to use my pace to get me out of trouble here. He didn't get in trouble. No. And for those games that he played very well, and we obviously won the title. And I think maybe Van Dijk's got to do a bit of that. But anyway, enough about the Scousers, unless you guys
great that they're losing every week, though, isn't it?
Unless you want to get involved in the comments, which people are doing. Danny Shields says, Liverpool beat Bournemouth 9-0 after we beat them, so they were obviously still mint then. They've only turned shy after we beat them.
That's a good point.
Solo.
Yeah, we still get full Liverpool credit.
Solo says, big up Jay and Joe. That's from the United Agenda. I love the United Agenda. There's a link in the chat there for the United Agenda. Go and check them out, their channel. I always pop on there at least once a month because they're good set of guys and they've been on this channel and stuff as well. Aquila Rosa says, Scouts spanked hard in Europe, but pundits were saying they are the best team ever and Klopp is a genius, etc. Were the pundits wrong? You weren't pulling anything. No, actually, you were pulling up one of the pundits the other day, weren't you, with Jamie Carragher, about his treatment of Lisandro Martinez. We've got a video on that, Joe and Macca, and on the overlap with Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher. It's great to see. And you sort of questioned Carragher, didn't you, about what he said about Lisandro Martinez? Yeah,
but he tried to roll him out after 2 games, saying that he couldn't work in the Premier League, and then telling us to calm down after 6 when he's been brilliant. But yeah, I just love it. Can we talk? I know it's meant to be later on. Can we talk about Tuchel now?
Yeah, because you can do whatever you want. Let's talk about. Is that all right with you, producer Callum?
Because I just think with this Tuchel thing,
sacked.
Thomas
Tuchel.
I love it.
Thomas Tuchel was sacked by Chelsea today following recent performances. Thomas Tuchel had turned down the opportunity to speak to Barcelona and Man United last season. He told both clubs that he wanted to remain at Chelsea, especially as he felt it was his duty, given the turmoil at the club. And that's from Jason Burt at the Telegraph. So basically, I presume this is when Ollie got his marching orders, or even might have been when they were saying about, Ragnick's coming into the end of the season, do you want to take over from him? Because a few of us thought that might happen if he left Chelsea. And I think had he left Chelsea earlier, he might have been in with a shout at the United job. But he didn't, he stayed. And also this, all right, I get this, right, okay. You can't blame Tuchel, especially as he felt it was his duty, given the turmoil at the club, right? He stayed, given the turmoil at the club. One thing I hate, though, is that when Tuchel said he was staying and saw Petr Cech on the telly giving interviews and some of these other players were staying and all this was going on, and they were being treated like heroes for staying at a club whose oligarch owner was being told he had to sell the club to some other billionaires. You're not taking one for the team now. You're doing it not doing anything special. No. And people going, everything that's going on with Chelsea, you've got to give him credit.
You've got to give him
credit for still collecting that 200 grand a week paycheck and staying at this club that's been owned by this oligarch for the last 17 years, whatever it is, and they've all been happy to play for him. And now they're going to have to play for a different billionaire owner. It's such a testing time for them.
It's really difficult because it's also probably the biggest job he could get.
Yeah.
And also, he's done pretty well there. I don't feel sorry for Thomas Tuchel, and I don't feel he was a particularly brave man for staying at Chelsea. It was, we would all have done the same thing. Do you know what I mean? What he should have done We've seen the playbook for this, and I hate to say it, Wayne Rooney. Stay through the difficult bit. As soon as Todd Burgerbelly buys the club, then you quit. Then you go, actually, I'm going to move on to get something else, because then you leave as a hero.
Yeah.
And instead, he's waited around, knowing that he didn't get on with him. That's why I'm saying he should have quit. He knew there were rumours as soon as Todd Burley came in that this wasn't going to work.
Because Todd Burley seems absolutely off his head, doesn't it?
Yeah, he does. And it seemed immediately that these two didn't like each other. That's what we were hearing. You can brush it off as media speculation at the time, but now it seems to have been confirmed by the fact he's been sacked so quickly. If he'd have quit at the start of the season and gone, you know what, this isn't working, this isn't right for me, I wish Chelsea Northern would have said whatever, his stock wouldn't have fallen the way it has now. And I think it's unfair for him to have been sacked, but it's obviously things going on behind the scenes there weren't right. And I said, he didn't leave when they were going through a little blip of difficulty. Yeah. What a hero. Why would you leave?
We were talking earlier about Tuchel, and he's a weird manager, because there's part of you thinks, okay, for starters, he won the Champions League. It's fantastic, yeah? Brilliant achievement, let's not dismiss it, yeah? And also beating City in the final, I was buzzing about that. I don't particularly like Chelsea, but I like them more than I like City. Or I hate them less than I hate City, let's put it that way, yeah? So, credit where it's due. Yeah. And he's got to all these finals as well, which isn't easy, getting to a final, but he's lost a lot of finals, and he's lost is it 3 finals? Lost to Leicester, lost to the Scousers twice in the domestic finals. Yeah. That's kind of a bit, where you're looking, that's not great.
They won the big one, but they've lost all the rest.
He lost all the rest, and especially against Leicester, you'd have fancied him for that one. Then there is the fact that, listen, they beat City in the final and all that, but I still think Pep shit the bed in that final with his tactics. Just completely going wrong. But he won. But then it's like, they fell off a bit of a cliff last season in the league. They were top at Christmas.
Wasted a lot of money on Lukaku.
Wasted a lot of money on Lukaku. Haven't done anything this season in the league. I know it's only early days and he's had all these issues. And he did get sacked to PSG, and PSG sack everyone if you don't win everything. But it's like, he's a good manager, and he's had these moments of greatness. Yeah. But I don't think he's quite in that top bracket.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
But then who are they going for next? Graham Potter?
Yeah.
Who has proved that he can make a poor team good.
Yep.
But that is so different to making a good team great.
I agree.
It's so different.
Do you know what? I think sorry, I didn't mean to insult you. Go on, finish your point.
I think that the difference, he doesn't really have to contest with the sort of egos that you would have to do at Chelsea. He doesn't have to contest with the size of the transfer fees. Like, people say, he can do X, Y, and Z on a shoestring budget, think what he could do when he spends more. But it doesn't always work like that. There is a knack to spending the correct 100 million, to buying the right £50 million right back. Tuchel didn't do that properly. That's one of the things that's actually come unstuck for him is buying Lukaku for £100 million was a waste of money. Yeah. And you get that money to spend. Who knows if Graham Potter can do that? I think that's a massive jump. And when he comes in the dressing room and someone goes, you're trying to implement a new style, there's always a bit of pushback because that's human nature. And if someone ever went, sorry, who the fuck are you? Yeah. He has got nothing he can say. Yeah. And I don't know if that would be enough. And I think he's a good manager, Graham Potter. I think he's really good. Tactics-wise, he's right up there. I just worry that, I say worry, I'm not a Chelsea fan, I hope it fails. But my concern, if I was a Chelsea fan, would be, he's just, you've managed Brighton, that's okay, but that's not enough, is it really? Let's be honest. When people like fucking Philip Scolari got laughed out of the dressing room having won the World Cup with Brazil, I know it's not the same player now, but there's a
AVB had it, didn't it?
Yeah.
Because he'd won things, I think, with Porto, was it?
Yeah.
But he was still in his 30s and he had all those egos, and I think he became a bit of a laughing stock. So he has that to contend. We said that when he was linked with United, Potter. Yeah. Is he going to be able to sort out all these egos and go, listen, I've just, at the time, he hadn't finished 9th for Brighton at the time, he'd finished 16th. I've just took Brighton to 16th, you need to listen to me.
But even then, let's be honest, I've finished 9th with Brighton. It's hardly, I've won the Champions League with Porto like Jose Mourinho came in with.
No, I agree completely. The only thing I will say about Potter is all the positive things you said about him. He plays good football, he is a good manager, good coach, and he seems to get the best out of certain players. He is a manager on the up, yeah? So maybe he's got it in him and he's on that trajectory. Yeah. The same way, I don't think he's in his class, but Ten Hag's on the up. Yeah. First manager we've had since Fergie whose actually career was going in the right direction when we got him. So maybe they're thinking that. Anyway, let's talking of managers. Let's go to the BetVictor. Can we have the BetVictor clip on, please? Adam McCullough has been doing what I can only call God's work, talking to rival fans, you know what I mean? I don't know how you guys do it all the time. Chatting to rival fans for BetVictor's Last Fan Standing, where one of them was talking about Mikel Arteta. Formerly undefeated this season manager, no longer obviously, Mikel Arteta, and whether he could win the league with Arsenal. Check out what they had to say.
What's your opinion of Arteta at the moment? I know you obviously had a great start to the season, but is he the man who can lead you to this title challenge? Can he?
What,
is he tactically...
Arsenal aren't challenging for the title. Let's not be stupid.
No, listen to me, right? You cannot spend the money that Arsenal have spent.
If Arsenal are challenging for the title, we're challenging for the title. Yeah, if Arsenal win the league, I'll be fuming that we didn't.
You cannot let Arsenal fans off the hook here, right? They have to know.
Arsenal are challenging for the league.
They should be. The money they've spent.
Don't be ridiculous, Jesus Christ!
I'm just saying that you can't allow their expectations to dip because they've lost one game.
He's putting a pressure on Arsenal because he knows deep down that Spurs cannot maintain what they're doing. You know what I mean? Spurs cannot maintain. Everybody's going on about Arsenal. Like, Spurs cannot maintain the way they're playing and continue to keep getting the points that they're getting. They're not playing well. They struggled against West Ham. Should have lost to West Ham. Played poorly against Chelsea, got the result because of VAR decision. They cannot keep that sort of. They've got to change a little bit. Like Arsenal.
Do you know who that sounds like, Lee? That sounds like Arsenal up until yesterday.
So that was Adam McCullough for Last Man Standing with BetVictor. Go over and get involved in the chat there. Talk about Arsenal as title challengers. Talking about other teams as well. Spurs, could they be a title challenger? Arteta and Arsenal, were they ever in the title consideration for you?
Why would they be?
No. Some people, let's face it, some people got, first 4 games, you win all them games.
They're barely in the top 4 conversation, to be honest.
Is there something going down here?
Like, they're in the top 4 conversation now because Chelsea have got no manager.
Yeah.
But if they get a good manager in, they could still get a top 4.
I will be honest, right? Arsenal impressed me at Old Trafford. They weren't as average as I thought they were.
No, they're a good team.
They had a good little spell and they've got some good players, but I don't see a title winning team now.
The problem is, I think their players let them down. I think...
Other than the players, they're all right. I think the fans let them down as well.
I think the fans let them down. I think what Arteta's doing is actually decent. He's a decent manager. I don't know if he's good enough, again, to manage the transition all the way to the top. I think he's stabilised them. He's made them a better team. He's given them some proper tactics. They know what they're doing on the ball. Yeah. But their players just aren't good enough. How far above, do you know the whole greater than the sum of its parts? Right. How much greater than the sum of its parts would that team have to be to win the league? Right. It would have to be almost Leicester levels of greater than the sum of its parts. Like, you go through that team, like Ben White looks good because he's in a good system. He's an all right defender. Gabriel is an all right defender. Their fullbacks.
Ramsdale's shit.
Ramsdale is a bang average goalkeeper. Like, I think Zinchenko's decent. Again, he was one of the worst players at City for the last 4 years, but he's a good player. Like, their midfield is weak. Gabriel Jesus is a good player. Saka's decent. Odegaard's I just feel like they're not good. Their players would have to overachieve so much to win the league. I think when they get the European places, I think they'll just crumble. The trouble as well with Arsenal is the fans are so ridiculous. It's extremism all the time. Everything is either this is we're the greatest team you've ever seen, or they all need sacking. And after that game, the meltdown after that game. Honestly, it was one of the least controversial games you'll ever see. And you were acting like the referee grabbed hold of the ball and volleyed it into the back of the Arsenal net for us. It was just the meltdown and all the outrage, and Anthony's horrible and the referee's a con artist and all this other nonsense. Get a grip of your lives. Anthony's performance wasn't even remotely controversial, or like he went over to the Arsenal fans for 2 seconds. It wasn't like he did some mad... He wasn't like he did a couple of skills. People were acting as though he was like doing kick-ups and putting his fingers up to the Arsenal players. He literally waggled his foot over the ball like thousands of players have done in the past. And they're acting like he's some controversial figure. How come is it, right, when you see all these Muppets on these Arsenal shows and they're all going berserk, and yet you're there at Old Trafford and you see them and they're quiet for 90 minutes. Yeah. They celebrated their goal and that was it. Don't hear a peep out of them yet. As soon as they're in front of a camera, they're acting like the most passionate fans in the world. They do my fucking head in. Right, anyway, sorry. In a super chat, W015970 says, more shade and fraud, this time for Chelsea. Danny Shields, Abhinav Verma said, can you address Tuchel as Tommy Tickles, a.k.a. The Tickler? Why not? Tommy Tickles for you as well.
Taryn Camplin, who's been a member of the Academy for 30 months, says, I love Liverpool losing almost as much as I love the Chicken Club sandwich from Tesco. Gets it in the 9 out of 10 club. That's a nod, obviously, to Joe on Sloppy Joe's.
Interesting.
We have got merchandise for sale, right? Because there you can see in the corner of the screen there, and that one there.
Come on, Joe.
Marcus Rashford, hope. Hey, he gives us hope, and I tell you what, he's been giving me hope this season. He's been fantastic. We've got Marcus Rashford t-shirts, hoodies, mugs. We've got McSauce t-shirts, muddies, hugs. People liking them again, aren't they? Loving Scott McTominay. We've got Ten Hag merchandise. We've got all your players' merchandise sorted there. Lisandro Martinez, we've got a nice little
Stretford Paddock merch as well.
Stretford Paddock merch there is proving popular. Go and check it out, paddockmerch.com. We've got offers as well, where if you buy 2 more items, you get 20% off. Go and have a look in the link in the description. We'll put a link in the chat as well. So go and check out our merchandise because, you know, there is a lot to offer there and a lot of you guys are liking it. Also, if you are a member, thanks to everyone who is a member of Stretford Paddock, we appreciate your support. You get a little discount as
Wouldn't
well.
it be so good if Liverpool finished outside the top 4?
That would
Wouldn't
be
it be fucking
the
brilliant?
greatest thing that's ever happened to me as a football fan.
Klopp left and they got Gerrard in.
Is a bit of
that.
I'd love it if we beat them. Just love it. Here's a bit of a left field one. Anthony Martial, right? Now,
He don't play left field anymore, he plays up front.
get out. Will not have Anthony Martial banded around this office, will he? No, come here, I need you.
Oh, right.
You're forgiven. Permission granted.
Permission. I didn't ask for it.
Martial wanted. Reports have emerged from Turkey that Martial is a much wanted player. Galatasaray is interested in Anthony Martial of Manchester United and Adama Traore of Wolves. Galatasaray wants to add one of these 2 players to its squad. New Outdoor TV. Hey, that's where you want to get your Turkish news from. New Outdoor TV.
Outdoor TV. What is this? Some patio salesman.
Nice. Good stuff.
I tell you what, what's that? Check that out. New Outdoor TV. 50-inch, Samsung, waterproof, windproof, and it's connected to the hi-fi system.
Stop everything right now. This is not a drill. We have got a super chat from John Shin.
Oh, nice.
I love John Shin, right? I love him equally as much as I love my own children, right? And he says, happy birthday to my guy Ronaldo Brown. Please get him an ice cold pint for the Paddock fam. He's a good lad, isn't he, John Shin?
Yeah.
One of the good guys.
We will be spending that money on cheese for me and Jay, though, I'm sorry. Not for Ronaldo. We're going to spend it on cheese. Thanks,
yeah.
Happy birthday, Ronaldo.
Happy birthday, yeah. Ronaldo Brown, it's his birthday today. Big 2-4. So he's a bit like Van Dijk, he's in decline now.
Yeah.
It's, you know, he's peaked and he's on the downward slope, but he's got a long way to go. Don't worry, it's a long road. So wish him a happy birthday on his socials. It's Ronaldo Brown 98, is it? Yeah?
Ronaldo Brown
_98. 98. Yeah. Go and find him. You know where to find him on the socials and all that. Wish him a happy birthday. He's a good kid.
fella, Anthony Martial, Galatasaray. We can't sell him, surely.
No, can we fuck? We're not going to.
No.
Right, but when the Turkish window shuts tomorrow, doesn't it? He's not getting sold. That would be the biggest, most shocking sale since
the Louisiana Purchase.
Oh, great reference.
Yeah.
There. Can you believe Napoleon sold that for $15 million?
Do you know what the one? Do you know
to
that
fund his European wars?
Did you know the buying of Alaska from Canada? I think
Yeah.
it was from Canada. Is considered to be one of the most profitable transactions in the history of England.
It's more so than the Louisiana Purchase.
I think
because
it's
that
meant
had
to be
like
older.
lots of gold and stuff in it.
The amount of oil in Alaska.
Oh. Hey, I tell you what, if you're going to sell off big chunks of states to the USA,
sell it to the Glazers.
Sell it to the Glazers, yeah, they know how to handle the business.
Hell.
Just before we wrap up, we have to remind everyone, you know, we are always sort of promoting these things and talking about these things. Protests have been ongoing against the Glazers, and may they continue. We're away, aren't we, at Palace this weekend? Yeah. I'm presuming we're at home tomorrow. There are probably going to be, you know, Glazers out chants and all that, and it's good to see, but I don't know whether there's anything planned ahead of the game tomorrow. But do check out the socials, check out the 1958 and all those guys and see what they're up to. There's always something in the pipeline as well, so it's important the fan base, you know what's going on and gets involved. I think there's lots of information on there. Twitter, if you go and check that out. Joe, where can people find you?
Joe Smith 93 on Twitter and on the Sloppy Joe's podcast. New episode out yesterday. Make sure to check it out.
Yeah? What are you talking about? Podcast.
Chatting about podcasts.
Are you going to start tweeting now, dickhead? Now you've got a bit of fucking attention.
Yeah, because I did. Yeah.
Yeah, you did a tweet. Did well.
I did one of those Jay Motti tweets.
Hey. That's like a term when a tweet does really well.
Oh, this
Jay Motti tweet.
This tweet's Jay Motti.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
So can people find you, Jay?
They can find me. They know where to find me.
In their front shrub with
Wander
a pair of
in the
binoculars.
streets of Eccles. Yeah, that's where you'll find me.
With your Todger quite literally strangled into a plastic bag.
This has been Paddock Live. That's been Joe Smith. I've been Jay Motti. Thanks for watching. We're going to talk about that.